A terrible thing just happened. I'm sorry to bother you about it, but I really need your help. I have just been sued by Justin Trudeau's anti-Semitic censorship appointee, Burju Datani. You can read his lawsuit in full for yourself at the website saverebelnews.com. He's suing me for $800,000.
That's why I'm here today, to announce that I've launched defamation lawsuits against those who spearheaded a targeted attack against me this past summer. Conservative Member of Parliament Melissa Lantsman, right-wing media personality Ezra Levant, and the Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs, CIJA.
You might remember Datani. Last year, he was appointed by Trudeau to be the chair of the Canadian Human Rights Commission. That's the kangaroo court that was going to implement the worst parts of Bill C-63. That's Trudeau's atrocious censorship bill. Now, thankfully, C-63 was derailed a few weeks ago when Trudeau prorogued Parliament. But last summer, Datani was all set to be the chief censorship enforcer. But then the truth about Datani started to come out. It turns out Datani had written atrocious anti-Semitic comments and appeared on anti-Semitic panels. He compared Jews to the Nazis. He compared Hamas terrorists to the Jewish victims of the Holocaust. He called for a boycott of the Jewish state. That is classic anti-Semitism. He didn't just write about it and talk about it. Datani even took to the streets. He attended a protest outside an Israeli embassy where radicals were mourning the death of a terrorist. Datani sat on panels with extremists, including a member of Hizbut Tahrir. That's a violent terrorist group that's banned in dozens of countries. He participated in anti-Semitic hate fests on college campuses, and he wrote that, and I'm quoting here, "Terror is not an irrational strategy. It is, in fact, a rational and well-calculated strategy," unquote. He wrote that. Now, 2 lawyers hired by the Liberal government investigated him and declared that he didn't do anything anti-Semitic, but their report contains page after page of evidence of his anti-Semitism, including the examples I just listed. And the lawyers said he tried to hide that evidence from the Liberal government. Imagine appointing someone like that to run the Canadian Human Rights Commission. This is the guy who's suing me. But here's where it gets really creepy. Every major news outlet in Canada, and many around the world, reported on Datani's shocking anti-Semitic comments. And thousands of people on Twitter did too. Just Google his name to see for yourself. But he's only suing 3 people that we know about. Me, Conservative Party Deputy Leader Melissa Lantsman, and the Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs, or CIJA as it's called. Suing 3 Jews for objecting to anti-Semitism out of hundreds of critics? That's a bit obvious, don't you think? I need your help, please. Datani has enormous resources, and now he's been hired by Canada's most woke university, Toronto Metropolitan University. Datani, who's suing me to silence me, is actually hired by their Center for Free Expression, if you can believe it. TMU is such a joke. Now remember, Datani was Trudeau's first choice to be Canada's censor. There's no doubt in my mind he would have weaponized the Canadian Human Rights Commission against Rebel News and against the Conservative Party and against pro-Israel activists. And that's exactly what he's doing now with his lawsuit. I'm not too worried about Melissa Lantsman. She's tough. And it's standard practice for Parliament to pay an MP's legal defense. And CIJA has a major budget, and they actually receive large grants from the government too. But not us at Rebel News. It's weird how I'm the only journalist he's suing, given that every news outlet in the country reported the same things. He's hired a top lawyer. He's got vast resources, and he's coming to destroy us. If you want us to live, now is the time to help us, please. Go to saverebelnews.com. Chip in what you can. I really need your help to cover our legal bills. Even before we get to trial, this lawsuit could cost us well over $75,000 in legal fees. We can't let that stop us. If you help us cover the cost of our lawyers, I promise I'll fight like hell against this censor. Thanks. Please visit saverebelnews.com. You know, Datani was going to be the chief enforcer of Trudeau's C-63, silencing dissident voices. This lawsuit could have the same effect. Is it any surprise that someone who said terrorism is, quote, a rational and well-calculated strategy, unquote, would sue to silence his critics? Last point. You know, Rebel News loves to fight for freedom for other people, and we often crowdfund lawyers for other people, but this time, we're fighting for our own survival. We're the ones who need help. Please chip in to help us cover our legal fees. Thanks. Visit SaveRebelNews.com.